Chairman. My name is Bob White, and I am from the great state of Florida. I handed out my first political brochure on behalf of a candidate when I was 5 years old. Considering my advanced age, that means I've been politically active for longer than some of you have been alive. But that's okay. I like it that way. I've always enjoyed politics. Not the process nearly as much as the results that can be achieved. And I've always been active, not just in politics, but also in various leadership capacities for other organizations. As chairman of the Home Builders and Contractors Association in my county, president of my Rotary Club, served on various church boards and committees. It's something that I've always enjoyed, something that I've always been, I think, good at. I'd like to bring some of those skills to this organization. I was a candidate for political office myself. I ran for the school board back in 1992. I've been the chairman of the Republican Liberty Caucus of Central East Florida for the last 3 years, getting ready to start my 4th year in that capacity. It's a good, strong local chapter organization. We have 50 members. We generally have between 50 and 60 people at our meetings on a monthly basis. We've been very fortunate financially. We've put over $10,000 in the bank. For a local organization, a local chapter, I think that speaks very well for us, for what we've been able to accomplish at that level. I'd like to bring some of those same ideas to the national organization and help filter some of that down so that other local organizations can have a chance to maybe pick up on some of what we've been able to accomplish and implement it back in their own areas. I just really honestly believe that, as the other two speakers have already said, that we really are at a tipping point in this country. I'm a father and a grandfather. I have 3 children. I have 2 grandchildren. One was just born, in fact, this past Tuesday. I have a 3rd grandchild on the way in August. And I am determined to do everything that I can to ensure that my children and my grandchildren and your grandchildren can live their lives in freedom and enjoy the blessings of liberty that are their birthright under the Constitution of the United States of America. We have got to resist tyranny, we have got to reclaim liberty, and we have got to restore the Republic. And that's what we need to be about as an organization, and I would really appreciate your support for this at-large position. Thank you.
All right, we go on to Nena Bartlett.
Earlier this year, I was asked to speak at CPAC, the biggest conservative meeting in the world, about the role of conservatism in the liberty movement. And of course, I talked about, the reverse, the role of liberty in the conservative movement. Of course, I talked about the role of conservatism in the liberty movement. And that's the movement that I consider myself a part of. My name is Nena. I am the RLC chair in DC. I have been running the Ladies of Liberty Alliance, a nonprofit organization that provides leadership training for women, for the last 2 years in my free time, because my full-time job was working for Senator Rand Paul on legislative issues relating to health, education, labor, and pensions, and his committee spot. But before working for Senator Paul's Washington office, I worked as his assistant campaign manager in Kentucky, so I know what it takes to win elections for Liberty candidates. Of course, the last name of Paul helps. I helped him in Kentucky at least. But last week was my last week in the Senate because my organization, I saw that it wasn't going to get any bigger, it wasn't going to thrive, it wasn't going to be as successful as it could be if I didn't make a bigger commitment. And I see that same opportunity here with the RLC. I think right now we're riding a wave, and we should and have the opportunity to be in front of the wave. We should and have the opportunity to not only cultivate candidates, but to help them win. I think that we're doing that, but we could do it a lot more. And being in DC, I think that I have the connections and experience that it takes to create the relationships and actually develop candidates who can be successful for the next many years. I'm going to start a political consulting company in a couple of months and hopefully be working for lots of RLC endorsed candidates, but I would like to be a part of that process. I already do plenty of things to help the national RLC, and so if I could have an official board membership, that would be really awesome for me and for the RLC, and for DC, because we don't have representation in Congress.